Hi, hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rania, and I'm an idiot with a camera. Just putting it out there. A few weeks ago, I made my first short film, all by myself, which was a huge mistake. But that's for another video, because we're here to talk about the color grading of that film. Well, of one of the shots of that film. But before we start, I just want to say that I am not a professional colorist, so I may not be doing things as they're supposed to be done. I just go with the feeling, so whatever feels right to me and looks right to my eyes, I keep. I know the basics, but not the technicality, so I'm not gonna go into the detail behind each tool. Okay, now that this is out of the way, let's jump into DaVinci and see what I did. This is the color page tab, obviously, but before we start, I just want to show you guys my color space management. This is what I use, DaVinci YRGB, color space timeline, DaVinci wide gamut intermediate, and output color Rec 709. It's the same as Rec 709, but A is for Apple products, and I have a Mac. And the wide gamut, DaVinci wide gamut intermediate, I think it's a wider color space and it gives you more flexibility, I think, and more range while color grading. And also, I don't know if it already happened to you guys, sometimes you edit and you color grade and you finish, but when you export your video, you notice that the colors are different than the colors that are in DaVinci. It used to happen to me a lot at the beginning until I found this combination, and it is the only one that works for me. Well, there may be others, but this is the one I found on the internet, the solution I found, and it worked for me, so I kept it. Okay, so to color grade, there are many ways to do it. No trees, power grades, LUTs. I use Dehancer for this one. If you don't know Dehancer, it's a film emulation plugin for Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci. And it makes things so much easier to emulate film, because it's really complicated if you don't have a plugin. Yeah, and it dumbs things down for people like me. It's all in one place, as I'm going to show you, and it's really not complicated, so that's why I used it for this one. Okay, so let's add Dehancer here and see what we can do. So when you put Dehancer, it automatically puts a look on your film, and it puts the source as Rec 709, but you can change it. In my case, like, you can even choose a camera. I used an fx3 with S-Log3 as Gamma 3 Cine. You could do it this way, but I didn't. And I'm not gonna lie, when I did this, the look kind of scared me. So I just went back and put Rec 709 and did what I always do, because I'm used to shooting with my Sony A7C, and I shoot S-Log2 in it, and it's not available in the cameras and Dehancer. So, and I know that many people are not gonna find their profile here. So what I do is keep Dehancer on Rec 709 and I transform my footage beforehand. I put a CST in with Sony S3 Cine S-Log3 to DaVinci wide gamut intermediate, because it is a wider range, and then transform that to Rec 709. And once I transform it to Rec 709, you see the look that Dehancer puts in, which is honestly not that bad now that I'm looking at it. So I'm just gonna make minor adjustments to match the look I want to go for. Okay, so the first thing I do is choose my film profile. There are many film profiles here. I use the Kodak Vision 3, and as you can see, there are 4 different profiles. The main difference between them is the color balance. The D stands for daylight color balance, which is 5500 Kelvin, and the T stands for tungsten, which is 3200 Kelvin. It is recommended to be used for indoor lightings, and the D is recommended to be used for outdoor lighting, but you can obviously use the 250D for indoor scenes and vice versa. Nothing is stopping you. And the numbers are the ISO, like 500 ISO, 50 ISO, 250, and 200. In my case, I use the 500T. As soon as I pick my film profile, the next thing I do is pick my print profile. The print is the type of paper that your film would be printed on if it was filmed on film, I think. I went with glossy paper. I think it's my favorite. I always use it, but there's also the 2383, which is not bad. And Fujifilms are also really famous. I've never used Cineon. So yeah, I use glossy paper. So these are the first things I do before I start making any adjustments. Okay, now let's go down one by one and I'll try to explain to my best effort. Right below film, there's Film Developer. Film Developer simulates the chemical process used to develop a film, affecting the final image. So if we enable it and start playing around with the controls like contrast, you can add more contrast, gamma correction, color separation, and color boost. Okay, so let's see what I like. Yeah, I do want it to be more contrasty because the film is kind of a dark humor kind of thing. Okay. I don't want it to be saturated. I want it to be kind of faded, colorless, emotionless feeling. Yeah, I do like the contrast to look better. Okay, let's keep that. And we'll come back to it later if I want to change stuff. Film compression. Film compression basically brings down your highlights. Like if you watch his shirt, the light, and I enable it, you can see that the highlights are brought down a bit, which is really practical. Like you get to pick the impact. You can see the change, the white points that you want to, as well as the total range and the color density. So let's see, I really do want to bring out the highlights, especially because on his nose it kind of looks really highlighty. Total range, let's not take away everything. Yeah. Okay, I think I like it like this. I'll have to bring down the colors a bit afterwards. But highlights wise, I think it's good. Okay, let's move on. Expand. Expand basically helps to expand or compress the dynamic range of your image, like the tonal range of your image, by manipulating the black and white points. And the color mode is either normal is affecting the whole image with colors included, and Luma is only for luminance, like it would only affect the brightness of the image without touching the colors. So if we enable it and play around the blacks and whites, you see what it does to your image. By manipulating these black and whites, it kind of affects the contrast, obviously. So since I do want it more contrasty, I'm gonna leave it as is for now, and if needed, I'll come back to it. We talked about print. You can obviously change your exposure here for the final image. You can do the same thing. You can either change it here. Oh, sorry. You can either change it here or change it in the input profile. But I don't do this now. I don't know why I come back to it at the end. I just, again, go with the feeling. Color head is the printer lights. You know, the colors. If it's more blue, it's going to be blue, yellow. And when you enable gain, you kind of make them move all of them together. What I did is added a little bit, see, more green. I liked the green tint. And I think I did that. I will leave it as is for now, and we'll see what we can do later. Okay, film grain. You know what film grain is. I don't need to explain what that is. I don't want a lot of it, so I'm just gonna I think this looks good. Halation. Halation creates glow around the bright spots of the image. Like if we see here, like if you see the can, and I increase it and enable the halation, you can see there's a glow around it and around his shirt as well. So we see this in film a lot. I mean, you can keep it if you want. I can't remember if I had kept it. I think it's just a little bit, not too much. Bloom, well, bloom, it's bloom. I didn't use a lot of it, if I remember, because I had a mist filter on the lens that day. I think it was 1/4, like a quarter. Is it a quarter? Fourth? What do we say? I can't remember if it's that or 1/8, but the image looked kind of bloomy out of camera, and I really liked it, so I think I'm gonna leave it here. Let's see. Yeah, this, let's decrease it a bit. Yeah, this looks not bad. Film damage will add damage to your image. Film breathe, it changes how the color looks while your image is rolling. So you can see when I enable it, there's a change of color a bit. I didn't use it, so I'm gonna keep it disabled. Gate weave, well, just the frame keeps moving while the film is playing. I didn't use it either. And overscan, I didn't use it either. See, this is the overscan. There are many types from 8mm to 65mm. You use whatever suits you. You have like exposure, scale. I didn't use it. I used vignette. I really like the vignette with Dehancer better than the one of Da Vinci, since again I want things to be darker. Just gonna expand it, feather it. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so now we went over the main features of the Dehancer. What I do now that I have a look that's closer to what I want, I would go back and start making minor adjustments to see if it gets me closer to where I want. If not, I would go between the CSTs and start making the adjustments there. So now I see that it's still a lot of color. I don't like it because again, the film was kind of dark. Yeah, so I'd go to color boost and I'd bring it down. See, it was here, bring it, yeah, this is better. I really don't like, yeah, this looks very depressing, which is what I'm going for. Yeah, okay, I like this. One thing, check, maybe I'll bring the exposure up a bit. Yeah, and again, I want greenish look, so I'd move the tint. Okay, I still don't like the highlights. I think it's really, so I'd come here, HDR wheels, and go to the highlights. See, okay, so I want to, what about light? Yeah. See, when you bring the highlights, the color is gonna pick up a bit, but oh yeah, this is, I think this is better, right? So I'll just go back to the Dehancer and bring the color boost down. Okay. Oh. Okay. I think it looks dead inside. One other thing I do is check if the skin is good. How you do that is go to the vetroscope and it should fall on the skin tone indicator. It is really hard for me to pick the skin and make it really good because again, I'm not a professional colorist, so I try my best. Yep. Yeah, I think it's good. Let's put on the blur radius and the denoise. Yeah, I think it's not perfect, but it's good enough. And as you can see, it falls on the skin tone detector. I may just, let's see if we change a bit what's gonna happen. If we add a little bit of exposure, it looks like an alien. A bit of tint. Yeah, see what it did. Yeah, I think it looks better. I just don't want him to look. I think it looks better, but it also looks, I mean, it looks good both ways. It just depends on the feeling you go for. For now, I'll keep it disabled. And I'll go into making my other adjustments. Like, for example, this side, I don't want it to be that lit because it's closer to camera and it bounced the light off. I had an overhead light, so I'll just come here and add a gradient. Power window. And I would bring the exposure down. See if it's... I want the main focus to be on him, so... See? Yeah, I like it better. What I can do also, what I can do as well is add another power node on him, invert it and bring the exposure down, just so I can have, again, more light on him. They look more focused on him, I guess. So invert it, come here. Okay. I don't know if I like it better, but I guess keep it on. And come back here to the second node and add more green in the shadows. Just again, because I like the green kind of look. Ooh. Just enhancing the shadows a little bit. Is it? Nah, I can keep it as is. Yeah, okay, you can add the green in the shadows from here as well. Like if you want to add the green, you subtract red. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay. Okay, I think it looks good. This is without the grade, this is with the grade. This is without Dehancer, this is with Dehancer. As you can see, Dehancer really makes things easier because there are many other ways to emulate film, like power grade, for example, but sometimes they may make things more complicated, especially if you don't understand the technicalities behind it. So Dehancer just puts everything in one place and gives you controls to play around with until you find the look you're going for. You really don't have to know any stuff behind every little thing. So yeah, this is what I did for my film. Now I give the example of this shot because this is the hero shot, which is something I always do. I pick the hero shot of my video and I edit it first and I grade it first and I base, because it's the main shot, and I base the rest of the video's color grade on it. Again, because it's the main shot. What else can I say? Or if you like Dehancer and its features, especially how easy it makes film emulation, you'll be glad to know that they have a phone app. It's obviously called Dehancer, but it allows you to edit your pictures and videos shot on your phone. How great is that? It is really easy to use and it has the same features as the plugin. The difference is that it's on your phone. So if we jump in here, you can make your own presets so you don't have to redo the same edit every time. When you jump into the edit, you have crop, you have the source. This is a picture, but if it were a video, I'd have another control here to choose the source. If it's Track 709, it's the Apple log, if it's S log, and then you start your edit. You have source, you have the film. The difference is that you have a preview of your image with the film, which we don't have in the plugin. So it's really cool. Then developer, compression, really the same features in the plugin. Here the print, I use glossy paper. You know, I'm just having fun with it. Color head, film grain, halation, bloom, vignette, really film damage, overscan, and we're done. Really, really, really easy to use. So yeah, make sure to check it out. It's really interesting. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found what you were looking for. If not, if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer to the best of my effort. If you want to go into more detail, DM me on Instagram. I'd be more than glad to hop on a call and discuss it. Yeah, so again, I go with my feelings and what I like, what looks right to me. Yeah, so see you in the next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.